Hi, I'm Susie Jane Fox. I'm the owner of Be Valkyrie. I'm also a personal trainer, a health coach, an author, a blogger, and a former champion bodybuilder. So, one of the questions I always get asked is why do I do what I do? And also, was I always like this? Is this just something that's very natural to me? Have I always been healthy and fit? And the answer is no. When I was a kid, I absolutely adored sports, but then when I hit that kind of age, teenage years, my social life took the better of me, and I just enjoyed it. I loved socializing, I loved talking to people, I loved meeting people, so I was always out with my friends. When I went to university, I embraced that kind of social side of it as well, so I spent a lot of time socializing and going to parties, and in fact, I loved fast food so much to the point that one of my nicknames was McSue's. So as you can tell, yeah, health and fitness hasn't always been such a strong part of my life. So it wasn't really that I kind of hit my bottom where I wanted to make change until I actually changed jobs. So I changed jobs for my career prospects. My career was very important to me. So I changed jobs and I was really focused on that. But my role had gone from one that was fairly active to one that was sat at a desk. And I didn't really adjust how much I was eating either. So I was moving less, therefore burning less calories, but still eating the same. So the inevitable happened. But I didn't notice because it tends to creep on and you just don't notice until one day. And my rock bottom of where I was like, I need to make a change was it got to a point where I was ripping my skirts every time I got out of my work car. So I got out once, I was like, oh, I ripped my skirt, that's annoying. Got out again, I was like, that's strange. Third time, I was like, okay, what the hell is going on here? Then you look in the mirror and you're like, oh my God, where has this come from? So I went back to my old tried and tested methods where I would start going for a run. I used to go, right, that's it. I'm going to cut out chocolate. I'm going to cut out cakes. I'm going to cut out donuts. And it didn't really work. It always worked previously, but maybe because I was a little bit older, towards my 30s by this point, and I was all of a sudden I was like, well, what's going on? I can't shift this weight. So I very much started then exploring weightlifting as well. So started getting involved in lifting weights. I still was very much focused on my running, and it wasn't until I actually was on the internet, was on Instagram, and I found these pictures of all these women doing these bodybuilding bikini competitions, and I was like, oh my God, they look incredible. And I thought, I've always had a fairly athletic figure until I put on all this weight. And so I was like, okay, I'm going to do that. But I was so embarrassed and so ashamed of what people would actually think of me. I actually thought people would laugh if I said, right, I'm going to go, I'm going to prepare myself a stage and I'm going to get on stage and I'm going to compete with these women. And I just thought people would absolutely laugh at me. So I did the whole thing in secret, and hence my Instagram bodybuilding account is Secret Bikini Diary, because that was my secret bikini diary. And I went along to my first competition and I entered two categories and I placed third in my first two categories, which was a huge achievement. And by that point then I started to actually tell people. But even then, it was a long road of self-confidence. But that was a big defining moment for me, and it was on that journey of change, and health and fitness is all very much a journey. You start by doing one thing, maybe it's the exercise, maybe it's the nutrition, and then you build on it. And it is very much personal development. And without that change and being on that bodybuilding journey, I would never have had that confidence in myself to be able to start my own business, to be able to reach out to other women, to be able to sit here on camera telling people about, what I'm doing and why I'm doing it. So, to all those women out there who haven't put themselves forward for promotion, who are afraid of speaking out for fear of how they might be perceived, maybe that's bossy, controlling, all those women who have held back in all these situations, dressed in a certain way, so they're invisible because they hate how they feel about their bodies. No one should live like that. Like, no one at all. And and it does, for me, I'm just like, my God, if everybody knew how it made you feel, improving your health and just being more physically active, like how that changes your whole mind, your whole life, everything, how it just gives you all this added confidence and drive, you'd just be like, why doesn't everyone do this? So I really feel passionate about helping the women who are in that dark place, who really struggle and just battling with these demons about how they feel about themselves, because that can be a really dark place for a lot of women. And even if you feel jealous of other women around you, again, there's no need to, and just, working on yourself and feeling good inside and out is a real, it's a whole new life. So one of the other things, so when I went on my increased weight journey, when I was ripping my skirts, I also really decided that I was pretty miserable in this job. It wasn't really what I wanted to do. So I reassessed everything, and this is another thing. I love helping people. That's another big driving factor for me. I loved the coaching and development side of my previous job as well, and I always want to help a person in need. So looking at those kind of drivers for change as well, I then actually went back to university and started studying towards being a nurse. I thought that would be a great environment for me to really support people in need. One of my placements, I ended up being placed on a surgical ward, and in fact what I saw was people having massive heart surgery and also having limbs amputated because of diet and lifestyle. So much of it was because of diet and lifestyle. Some of it was type 2 diabetes, cholesterol plaque building up in their arteries. And, for me as well, I was like, I'm here and I'm helping people live with this current situation, which they shouldn't, be in anyway. Like, no one should lose a foot. No one should lose a toe. No one should lose a leg because of diet and lifestyle. No one should have to have massive heart surgery because of diet and lifestyle. And I was like, why isn't there more prevention on and much more focus on, stopping people or helping people not get to that point where they're then in hospital having their foot amputated. So those two things combined was really what has led me down this path. I really focus on the female side of things, especially with hormones. That's an added additional factor that, as women, we do have to deal with, and so it's very close to my heart in terms of helping women in terms of their personal journeys as well. So that is essentially why I do what I do. And if you want to find out more, please visit www.thevalkyriesolution.com.